Mr. Harrison is Embarrassin, Chapter 10, Digger. We each took a piece of cake with a candle stuck in it and followed Mr. Harrison down the stairs. I felt like a secret agent sneaking around in the dark. It was cool. Basements are scary, Emily said as we made our way downstairs. Yeah, there are probably monsters down there, I told her. Stop trying to scare Emily, Andrea told me. I'm scared, said Emily. Hey, can we eat this cake? Asked Ryan. You can't do that, said Mr. Harrison. We need the candles to light our way. If we had solar-powered flashlights, I said, we would be able to eat the cake. Well, you can't use your cake as a flashlight and eat it too, said Mr. Harrison. Finally, we reached the basement. At the bottom of the stairs, there was a hole in the floor. I almost fell in it. I noticed this hole yesterday, said Mr. Harrison. And I think I know who made it. Who? We all asked. A squirrel. A squirrel? A squirrel. Mr. Harrison told us that he had noticed a squirrel hanging around the monkey bars in the playground, digging deep holes in the dirt. He even gave her a name, Digger. I think Digger might have dug a hole into the school and chewed her way through an electrical wire, he told us. That would knock out the power, and Mrs. Mentry might have fallen in the hole. In the floor. Wow, we all said, which is Mom upside down. If Digger chewed through a live electrical wire, Mr. Harrison told us, she probably got the shock of her life. There might be a fried squirrel down there. Ew, gross, we all said. Poor Digger, said Emily. I wonder what fried squirrel tastes like, asked Ryan. Fried squirrel would have to be cooked in oil, Andrea said. That's what fried means. If Digger was electrocuted, she would have been broiled or baked. I take a cooking class after school, so I know these things. Why can't an electrocuted squirrel fall on Andrea's head? Wait a minute, said Alexa. If Miss Mentry touches the live wire, she could get the shock of her life, too. You're right, said Mr. Harrison. We got down on our knees around the hole. Mrs. Mentry, are you down there? Michael hollered. There was a long pause, and then, Of course I'm down here, yelled a faraway voice. Why is there a hole in the floor? I'm going to sue the school. Mrs. Mentry sounded pretty mad. The school is 50 years old, Mr. Harrison yelled into the hole. Stuff is breaking all the time. Tell me what you see, Neil yelled. Any dead squirrels down there? I can't see anything, Mrs. Mentry shouted. Back, get me out of here. I need to call my lawyer. Don't touch any wires, Mrs. Mentry, Andrea warned her. Mr. Harrison looked at us seriously. I'm too big to fit through this hole. Kids, he said, a few of you need to go down there and help get Mrs. Mentry out. We all wanted to go down the hole except for Emily, who was scared, of course. Mr. Harrison chose the skinniest ones, me, Andrea, Alexa, and Ryan, to go down there and rescue Mrs. Mentry. We lowered ourselves through the hole one at a time. It was scary but exciting, too. The candles on our cake didn't give off a lot of light. I'm down, I said, when my feet touched the bottom. It was dusty and dirty. Mrs. Mentry, Andrea asked, where are you? Silence. Do you see anything? Alexa asked. No. I've just seen a face, said Ryan. Where? Said Andrea. Is it Mrs. Mentry? At that moment, the scariest thing in the history of the world happened. I heard a deep rumbling sound, then a crash, and the next thing I knew, the ceiling was falling on top of us. It was a cave-in.